This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions in this video and comments on this podcast do not reflect or represent the views and opinions on this podcast platform.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Well, this is the third week of Women's History Month, and y'all can credit Robert for this show because he's been screaming in my ear, why aren't we doing topics that are geared towards women? And like I told him, we celebrate Women's History all year around on this platform. We always talk about women as well as men. And we have well-rounded discussions because we have female members on our panel. So we are always getting the woman's point of view, and they are celebrated all year round. But in observance of that, we are going to have a conversation that's near and dear to the women. And this topic is the world according to women. So I just want to say this before we get started, because I don't know if we're going to have time during this discussion to mention this as a question. So I'm just going to put this out there just to get the conversation started. I read something during my research, and it states women seldom know what makes them happy. And that being said, because the female population seldom is aware of what makes them happy, how do you expect a man to make you happy when you don't even know? So let's start the discussion with that. Patsy?
Yes.
Is it fair to expect a man to know what it takes to make you happy if, according to research, women seldom know?
There are some women that actually don't know and want to have a man to make them happy, but if you can't be happy in your own skin and do stuff to make yourself happy and take yourself out to eat, get something nice for yourself every now and again, get your nails done, get your hair done, or just like doing little stuff around the house that pleases you, certain movies that you actually like, doing some self-care and everything. And then you can express to the men what makes you happy. But the key point, if you don't have no self-confidence in yourself and think you look good, and I'm a true believer because I've seen it happen, men would compliment a woman and saying like, oh, you look so nice, you're beautiful and stuff, and her come back, are you sure I'm pretty? Like that. And I've seen men look at women like, are you shitting me, kind of thing. So definitely, I think for a lot of men, it's like, it's a turn off towards them, and they just be like, you know what, I'm gonna abuse this woman because she ain't got no self-confidence, so I'm just gonna break her down a little bit more, you know? So you gotta have self-confidence and do things to keep that confidence in yourself and do the things you actually enjoy, and you figure out those like that. You could probably have a handful of things you actually like, certain ice cream, certain things. So you go ahead and get those niches done and make yourself happy. That way, um, you can have your man be like, "Oh, give me a massage, give me a foot massage, do this, do that," you know, because that's what's gonna make you happy. Because you actually like that stuff.
Okay. Tanya, let's get your perspective on this. According to research, women seldom know what makes them happy. So if that's so, how do you expect a man to make you happy?
Well, I would like to know what women they was surveying to say that they seldom know what makes them happy. If you don't know what makes you happy, you don't know who you are. You're still trying to discover who you are if you can't tell, if you don't know what makes you happy. I don't believe that a man should automatically know what makes me happy. I have to tell him and show him what makes me happy. So you got to know for yourself what makes you happy, who you are, know your worth, know what you stand for, know what you deserve, know who you are spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You need to have all those things to be able to convey to your significant other or to another person what makes you happy.
Well said. All right. Before we go to the men and get their perspective, is there any other women that have joined us?
Nope, just me and Tanya.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the gentleman. Timmy, according to research, women seldom know what it takes to make them happy. So, as why do they expect a man to know what it takes to make them happy?
Well, I agree with Tanya. If if you don't know who you are, how can someone know to make you happy? You have to know who you are to figure out your happiness.
Bert, women seldom know what makes them happy. So, how can they expect men to know what makes them happy?
I just don't believe that the expectation, if you're expecting a man to know what makes you happy, hopefully, right, you can try to go on. If you don't know as a female what makes you happy, maybe I'd be using my skills and whatever talents I might have, or I paid attention to you over time, or to see what you like, and opposed to, if you can't tell me what you like and what makes you happy, that's kind of coming down to me paying attention to the signs, the signals, the red flags, the ticks, the all of that stuff, paying attention to the person you're trying to, court or make happy. Or again, I can't read your mind, you can't feed my mind, then we got an issue. It's time to move on. That might be a red flag. And just time for me to just bail on that.
That makes sense. Robert, same question.
Hit me with it again.
According to research, women seldom know what it takes to make them happy. If so, why do they expect a man to know how to make them happy?
Hit me with it again. Here's my answer. It's never going to change. The reason why the women have such a hard time is because their expectations for want, want is too high. They should be focusing on what they really need that's going to make them happy. Stop looking around at others or in your head of your dreams. I want that. I want that. I want that. I want. Do you really need it? Because I think a man knows what you need if he really pay attention. He just don't know your wants.
Okay. Gregory, same question.
Because we live in a materialistic world, everything's a dopamine hit. And this isn't just for women, this is men too. It's like everybody's looking for the next thing and then it's not in no more. Like people like cheesecake still, but girls don't want to go to the cheesecake factories on first dates anymore. So you can't do that. And then you got people walking down the street in Gucci and Balenciaga and stuff, but they ain't got no gas in their cars or they ain't got a car. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of materialistic things that blind people and make them not know what they want because it's so much of an option out here.
Sean?
We forget about loving ourselves and nature and beauty, all that good stuff.
Sean, let's get your perspective. If a
I
woman
like that.
seldom knows what makes them happy, why do they expect a man to know what it takes to make them happy?
Well, for me personally, I don't think it's a man's responsibility to make a wife, girlfriend, or woman, you know, happy or have never ending joy or constantly stimulating her. Um, I like what Gregory, the last part of what Gregory said, that it starts with the self love, self care, and self knowing. And until you know, meaning the woman, until she knows what she wants, needs, or requires, it's it's irresponsible and is, I'll use the word disrespectful for her to put that kind of responsibility on a man to try to make her happy when she doesn't know what it is that makes her happy.
All right. So this is actually the first question of the night. Sean, we're gonna stay with you. The question that you guys just answered, that was just a topic starter. All right. So the first question is question one. According to research, women are so damn angry because they have been forced to function in a patriarchal system and are treated like second-class citizens. What do you say to that?
Um, it, they history has proven that they have been sort of conditioned and or the word that they use, forced to be put into a patriotic situation to where they're, a lot of them are head of household, no matter what it consists of. Um, I have not seen that study, but if the study says that that's what makes them angry, I don't have any evidence that can dispute that.
Okay, we're going to go to Gregory. Same question, Gregory.
I don't think women was forced to live in. They fought to be a part of the society. Hard. So it's a whole women's liberation thing that they had going on, and they wanted to be a part of the society. They wasn't forced to do anything.
Bird, same question.
I don't believe, like Gregory said, they were forced. They worked hard to get where they are, and I don't really look at them in the second what is it? Secondhand society?
Yeah,
Yeah,
second class
second class.
Second
citizens.
class citizen.
I think they're just up there. I mean, again, in some levels of maybe sports, they're not looked at as equal, but they got just as equal rights as men do.
Robbie,
I'm gonna go ahead and say I agree with the panel. I'm gonna agree with a little bit everything they had to say. The last three that have spoken.
all right, Timmy, same question. Women are so damn angry because they are forced to function in a patriarchal system that treats them like a second class citizen.
I don't believe in that now. If you told me this 20, 20, 30 years ago, I would say yes, but now no. They they're right there at the if they're not on the level, the same level. So I don't you got too many women that are running things in business, uh corporations and whatnot. So I don't believe that.
All right,
So
let's,
D,
yeah,
sorry, can I jump in,
yes,
backtrack a little bit?
yes, you can.
I want to give our brothers something to think. It made me think as we were speaking, and Timmy said something that if somebody had said this to him 20 years ago, he doesn't think that now. My only pushback with that is if we look at today, look at the rights that are being taken from women
Mhm.
as not even being considered that their thoughts or concerns even matter, and we're just ripping it away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well said,
Thank
well
you.
said. And Sean, you got more?
That
No, that
because
was it. No,
that because of the goddamn idiotic president we got.
All right, let's keep it to what we're talking about. Um, all right, let's be fair about this. We got some individuals that should be in authority as part of our panel. So let's take it to the women. All right, let's go to Patsy first. Patsy, according to research, women are so damn angry because they've been forced to function under a patriarchal system that treats them like second class citizens. What do you say?
Um, I don't know too many women that are angry because of that. Um, but like Sean was saying, like some of the rights that we fought so many years ago to have, like um the right to make a choice about my body is, you know, like if I need a medical abortion for any given reason that is not viable for myself or the baby, um
Mhm.
yeah, like the government's just trying to taking that stuff away. Luckily here in Massachusetts it's not like that, but across the board there's so many states that are, but yeah, but
Abortion's not illegal though, yo.
no, but in some states you can't have an abortion whatsoever. It is now, once they took their Roe versus Wade away, and that's not in place anymore. So now it's given to the states. Each state has its own perception of what's legal and what's not legal around abortion. And in some states, it's not legal at all to have an abortion now. Since Roe versus Wade has been taken away, and it's little things like that. I think we're blessed in this country because In other countries, it's really like that. They women don't even have a voice of what they want to say because they are considered second class. They can't even get an education like we have here in the U.S. So yeah.
Okay. Tanya, let's get your perspective. According to research, women are so damn angry because they've been forced to live under a patriarchal system that treats them like second class citizens.
I wouldn't say that women are so damn angry. I would say that they're frustrated. They are tired. They are aggravated. They just want to be treated like a human. We're equally, like we're all human beings. I think that women are just ready to have equal rights. And that's where the frustration lies in that, because from the early on, they had no rights in the courts and the legal system. They was able to be abused in the household. They was told to stay in the kitchen and cook, clean the house, don't speak, don't have an opinion, even all the way up to now, even with the workforce. I know that they made strides, but they still look down upon when it comes into the workforce. A lot of companies still overlook women when they're more qualified than men in some cases to do a job, but because they're a woman, they don't get hired or elected. Even to now, there's so much misogyny going on in this world today. Women are still look like second class citizens.
Okay. Uh, does anybody want to give a rebuttal or respond to their perspective?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to be equal rights. We are just two different people. We are not the same, men and women. That's a fact. Doesn't mean you get paid less than me. No, that should not be. But that's unfortunately the shitty way of the world. And it's been that way forever. And I don't believe it's going to change. It's unfortunate, but that's just a harsh reality that has to be. I don't want to say it has to be accepted, but that's the only way you can move on and adapt and adjust and live to become, I mean, equal. But I mean, let's be real. The majority of women have more degrees than men. Maybe just not in the most relevant things to, career fly. But again, the woman is the real matriarch of the household. Without the woman, the house is a mess. Not a mess dirty, but the man is up going to work and the woman is taking care of the kids and the clothes and the laundry and the house and the food and the dinner and everybody's eating because of the woman. Again, I could say the man is the head of the house, but the woman is the neck. Without the neck, the head don't move. A real man would know that, and a real woman knows that and doesn't need to be validated or patted on the back. She knows she's letting that man think he's right. She's allowing that man to be a man even when he's not behaving like a man sometimes. She is the builder and the foundation of the family. So without her, there is no family. There is no whatever you want to call it, family, household. There is none of that. And
Yeah.
without the woman, there is no man, there is no creation, there is no children. So I mean, to feel your sense of value where you are, if you are where you are in life, if you are just, unfortunately and succumb to abuse and you haven't, you really not the head of the house, you might be you're not the neck of the house, but the majority of the women run the home. They just let the man think, they let him be a man and think he's running things, but he ain't running nothing.
Um, Bird alluded to something, and I'm gonna take this time to go ahead and plug the store. This show is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. And Bird gave you guys reference, he basically spoke on a shirt that is in the store that you could purchase, and it simply states, "We are not the same." Now, you guys can draw your own conclusion based upon that phrase. And Robbie, where can they purchase said shirt?
Women, this is something you surely can rule and be the boss of. Put your hands on those key buttons or your phone and type in emporiumplus.org, where you will find the latest fashions. And still a man, youth serum, SOS support our sisters, adopt your parish ladies first, envy forever, adopt your parish, and some merch in emporiumplus.org's logo or designs. I also want to say, viewers, you watching and you may be sneaking, subscribe, hit the like button, the thumbs up. We appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. I'm gonna stay with the woman. And did everybody get a chance to answer that last question? Kiana's here?
Yep.
Oh, right on time. All right, Duchess, you ready? All right, first question. Women are so damn angry because they've been forced to function under a patriarchal system that treats them like second-class citizens.
Okay. Is that a question?
That's the question.
Oh,
So what was the question? I'm sorry. Is that why they're angry? I didn't hear a question. I just heard a statement. I mean, yeah, they're angry for a lot of reasons, for not feeling as they are equal. No one wants to feel like they're less than somebody, or they're doing things because they're a woman. That's their quote unquote job. That's all BS. That's all made up by a patriarchal system. So yeah, some people are angry, some people love it, but the majority don't. We've only had our rights for what, maybe the last 50 years.
Okay. All right.
And we still don't got them, because until 1990, some things just happened. That's not that long ago.
All right, we're gonna stay with Kiana. Question number 2. According to research, women believe that the female intuition is never wrong. What do you say?
I don't believe that's wrong. I mean, it might lead you astray, but then you'll always be taken back to like a compass, always back to north. You're right on time. You don't have an inkling or a feeling for no reason.
Okay. Patsy, what do you say? According to research, the female intuition is never wrong.
I really believe that's true. Like, you kind of have to figure out like what it is that you're being intuitive about, and and sometimes you just be like something's off, but you're not quite sure what exactly it is, so you gotta fiddle around with that intuition and fiddle around with different things around the house, or with a particular person, and because that person can set you off and be like, this something wrong with them. There's something about them I don't like, or they're just off in some sense, and then you just gotta keep that distance between them people or a certain situation. It's like, yeah. Yeah, so for the most part, it is true that we have our intuition is pretty on point. It might not like come off like exactly what it is like when two then something might just be off and you're really on point about it, but you're not exactly sure of it, you know? So you got to figure it out and investigate. Yep.
Tanya,
Yeah.
what you say?
My female intuition is my spiritual discernment. And I can agree with Kiana that sometimes it leads you astray. And when you're being led astray, it's because you're not totally in tune with your spiritual self. When you're totally in tune, it's always right on time. It's always right. When you're being led astray, it's because you're not totally in tune. You're going from your mind. You're using your going on your own and not allowing the spirit to guide you.
Bert, let's get you. Everybody, the guys, turn your mics on. Take yourself off mute. Bert, question 2. According to research, women believe that their female intuition is never wrong. What do you say?
Yeah. I mean, if that was the case, right? Many females would be in a better position in this world and life because what they feel and what they thought and what they assumed was always right. That's a fallacious statement. It's never always right. Maybe they are right some of the time, probably even most of the time, but definitely not all of the time.
Robert, according to research, the women believe that the female intuition is never wrong. What do you say?
I'm gonna agree exactly what Bird just finished saying because I was feeling that way. I was like, wow, damn, if they're always right, then how the hell are you gonna be
How do you not know what makes
straight?
you
How
happy
are you
then?
gonna just wander off somewhere and just dibble and dab or just not be right or allow this person to take advantage of you and all this stuff, but you knew, but you didn't know, but you knew all the time, but you don't know. No.
Gregory, same question.
Um, and not just women. Everybody has an intuition, and if it's not on and it's off, turn it on. But I like to think that because I know a lot of females. Most of the time, intuition is like a gut feeling thing. So when you don't go with your first feeling and you second guess yourself and you start doing something else, even though you knew, like Uncle Rob was just saying, even though you knew already that you wasn't supposed to do this because you felt it in your gut. And that's what happens most of the time when women are wrong with their intuition.
Timmy, what do you say?
I say it ain't an intuition, it's your gut feeling. And sometimes you're with women when they had those feelings like that, most of the time it's because they went through something and those signs that they went through before right there in their face again. And they don't want to believe it because this person made them believe that he was different. And so they put up with that nonsense knowing that this is the same thing that happened in the last and there's the red sign, the red flag signs, but I believe I can change him. I believe I can get him to see that I'm the better woman for him. And it always turned out bad for them. So I think their gut feeling be sometimes of past incidents that they went through.
Sean?
Can I get that question again, please?
Okay. According to research, women
Mhm.
believe that the female intuition is never wrong.
Yeah, I believe they believe that. I'll, um, and I'll just go off of my experience with different individuals that have said to me that what they thought about a situation or that we may have been involved in, that this is what came to them. Um, so yeah, I believe that they believe that.
All right, ladies, turn your mics on. We're going to get your perspective on question number 3. Now, this one was very interesting, and it just popped up while I was doing my research, and I wasn't even looking for this one, but it was like they was not going to be excluded from the conversation. So, question number 3. According to women, they have always respected and supported the plight of the transgender woman, but this has not been reciprocated. Kiana, what do you say to that?
Can you repeat that again? We've always what?
According to research, women have always respected and supported the plight of the transgender woman, but this has not been reciprocated.
I don't believe that every woman supports their plight, and most certainly, our plight is never on anyone else's agenda or even supported. So if you think you're going to cut the line, that's not happening.
Yeah, cutting the line.
And also, I have to go back on the intuition thing. We've always been told that our intuition is wrong because somebody else is trying to get over on us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Patsy, what do you say? According to research, women have always respected and supported the plight of the transgender women, but this has not been reciprocated.
I've never heard that nonsense. And yes, I don't really think it's a thing unless you really have like a family member or something that might be going through that. And then even then, at that, this is more of a newer thing. The of acceptance of someone being transgender, no matter which way the transgenderism is going. It's like years ago. It's like people didn't accept and support people that are gay and lesbian. So how is it that in research women have always supported transgender women? Now that doesn't even make sense to me. Now make that make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tanya, same question.
That sounds like a trick survey to me, because there's 1% of Americans who are transgender, and I don't really know enough about a transgender person to say that they've always supported our plight, and we haven't reciprocated. It's not enough information out there about it. It just came to the forefront in my mind over these last few years when it's been made an issue. And I just want to touch base on that intuition thing. Like Kiana said, women have been told that they was wrong when someone's been trying to get over on them. Well, you're absolutely right. That's why I said what I said about my intuition is my spiritual discernment.
I was
But
about to
that's
say,
why I
shit.
mentioned about.
Some of y'all
That's
was
why I
burnt at the
mentioned
stake.
about you about women, their past incidents, their past relationships, or whatever they went through in the past can give them that intuition or that gut feeling that something ain't right. But even though they know they're right, that person's going to tell them you're wrong. But in deep in your heart that you was right, and those signs that you seen in the last relationship or whatever is right there in your face. And he's trying to tell you that you're wrong about it.
Gregory?
This woman knows too much. She's a witch. Burn her alive. You better be happy y'all don't live in those times.
We're not too far from that again.
Ain't that right?
Gentlemen, you're going to answer the question at hand, and that is question number 3.
Oh, so we didn't get a chance to answer the last one?
No, we didn't answer that yet.
You already answered that question.
I didn't answer, did I?
We didn't.
Yeah, we answered the intuition question.
You're about to
Right.
answer question number 3 right now, which is, according to research, women have always respected and supported the plight of the transgender woman, and it has not been reciprocated. Robert, what do you say?
I find it kind of hard to believe. I'm not going to say all women. I'm going to say there's a lot out there that, you know, I'm not trying to be funny towards that community. So I want to say this is no disrespect. I'm just going to say it. Derek came over as one of your best friends. This is the female, Deborah. She had a friend called Derek. At the time, Derek was sitting around you, stealing all of your, I don't want to say attributes or your personality or your traits or whatever he can suck up. And your friends came over, Susan, Tanya, and Paulina, and he sucked up their stuff. Sucked it all up, and you guys ate it up. Oh, Derek, you're just so silly, Derek. We don't go out clubbing, Derek. Derek don't want to be called Derek no more. He's Dalicia. Now Derek is a transgender. You supported Derek. You let Derek wear some of your high heels out to the clubs with you, gave him a few bras to fit if you was really close to him, told him what type of tight pants looked good on him and all of that. Now, for him or the community to say you guys don't do nothing for them, shit, you did a lot. You build the bear.
Okay. Bert, you still with us?
Yeah.
All right,
Did you say build the bear?
Yeah, like build the bear, you go and put the stuffing in it, the heart and all of that. Kids get happy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I heard right.
You need the question again?
You heard right.
Yeah, I need it again. I got distracted with that build a bear.
All right. According to research, women have always supported and respected the plight of the transgender women, but it has not been reciprocated.
I don't believe women respected the transgender right. and I don't believe it was reciprocated by the transgender community. I think there's a battle right now going on between transgender and straight women because women are on alert that their mans are going to the transgender game. And women were intimidated how some of these transgender looks compared to them, and vice versa. Transgender women were trying to outshine and outlook the straight woman. So I think there's a little bit of confusion on where they aren't respecting it and they're not reciprocating it. They're just living it. Good or bad.
Gregory, what do you say?
It's sad to say that it goes hand in hand because it's sad because women have been fighting for their rights and into activism since the 1800s, 1880 or something like that.
They stand tall
But
together. Who knows
but
what they can
the
accomplish.
women's rights came along with the trans rights in the 1960s. So as long as women had rights, trans had rights too because they fought side by side for women's liberation. They thought they was women. So now we're getting to the point where they let these people out the loony bin. Nobody knew they was loony, but y'all need to know that they're loony because now y'all then gave them all your attributes and turn around and they want to be you. Look at the girl that got killed in Mexico by her trans friend and the other friends and stuff. And her body never got brought back over here. You don't think the trans person was jealous of her because she's a real girl? It's like Pinocchio. I don't know if you've seen the new Pinocchio. He's a killer. He wants to be a real boy.
Okay, Timmy, same question. According to research, women have always supported and respected the plight of the transgender women, and it has not been reciprocated.
Of course, that is true. If you look at all the big name female artists, the Gladys, the Patti
Diana Ross.
LaBelle, all of them, they all supported that community. And all the other female artists that came after them did the same thing, you know. And so I like to say like this, you know, they supported them until they tried to replace them. You know, like they are more women than the women. And so I feel like the women that supported them to have their voice, those are those same people that they fought for are the same people that are trying to push them out. And you don't you see thousands and thousands of women supporting the gay pride in the Me Too movement. You didn't see not one gay motherfucker out there protesting for the women. So it's a one way street when it comes to that LBGQ plus A community
What is
because
that
they
AI now?
because they 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 want you to support them, but when it's for them to support you, they're not for that.
What does the AI and LGBTQ AI mean?
So
A
now
plus.
Artificial intelligence.
So now, wait, Sean, hold tight, because I want to be clear about this. So you're telling me there has been some more letters added to the LGBTQ plus community?
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah, I was about to say that, ask that question
I
too.
I thought that AI stood for artificial
Asexual and
intelligence.
intersexual or something.
Yeah. It's a verdict.
Yeah, I can't say that I spend too much time interested in that community or their plight. So, and as a man, I don't have too much to say. I'm gonna, Sean, hold tight, because I saw something too, where they said men don't have too much interest in the transgender or transgender into a man. Women uh give too much attention to that and too much support, because women have bigged them up, helped build them up, like Rob said, build a bear of sorts. And now these are the monsters that you
Yep.
created. They are seeking to replace you in every way.
They are.
So
Oh,
we
they calling y'all cis women.
and I think
When have
that's
you ever been called that
and
term?
I think that's
They're like,
disrespectful to the biological woman, that
Well,
term.
there is such thing as cisgender.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what the hell
That's
that.
old new, Bird. None of
It-
that
it-
stuff. They
this
didn't
is
teach us that. It was
this is
sir, ma'am,
this
Mr.,
is
Mrs.
this is why
All cisgender is. Gee, little do you know, you are a cisgender. You're someone who is claiming the gender of
But
what you were
that is a
born
new
as.
term. That when did they create that terminology?
I know
That
that's
wasn't
what I'm
Right,
an
saying.
since
always
the
terminology.
transgender came out.
All it means is you are claiming the gender you were born as.
If we
yeah.
start letting people change the words in the dictionaries and terms to people being male and female, it's gonna get crazy. Once
Uh,
again, they let these people out the loony bin, and look at how we're acting. We're saying, yeah, they're right. We are cisgender. Some shit they made up.
Look it up.
it's
I
a
know what it means, but
it's
they
a term.
created that
it
term.
is it's a scientific.
Look up when the term was created. It was created like 1997 or something like that. I think we already had this conversation.
We alluded to it in other conversations, but it often comes up, and like I said, when researching these questions, that wasn't even something I was looking for, but it found its way into the search. So I felt like that it was relevant. All right, Sean, I'm gonna give you a chance to answer this question. According to research, women have always supported and respected the plight of the transgender woman, but it has not been reciprocated.
Um, I guess I can agree with that. And the reason why I would agree with that is because when you look at the transgender or the LBG, those letters, that community, they've always wanted support from any and everybody. But when it's time for everyone else's plight to take a stance on something, they're nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're forcing
That's
transgender.
my only problem with them. I ain't got no problem with you claiming what you claiming, but if other people support you, you should have uh
Same energy.
that same drive to go out and protest for them, that especially the ones the big name stars always support that group always.
So I got your information for you, B. So an activist created the term in 1994. They didn't put it in the dictionary until 2015. So I was telling you, this is a whole new term that they got people using that. Cis. When we
No,
used to
but
call them sissies.
10 years ago. But no, because sissy doesn't mean that. Sissy, they're calling you sissy because you're gay. As a man, that calls a man to
So
a
you
girl.
got an activist that creates a term called cis. And he was
It just
probably called
defines you.
sissy
But I don't
back in the
think that
day.
it's
Do you get what
spelled.
I'm saying to you,
I
B?
don't think it's spelled the same way. That
It's
I don't
not
think it's
spelt the
short.
same, but that's a trick on
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
terminology and
yeah.
words for you.
I would say that too, Gregory. I feel like it's a what is a double entendre.
And they, whatever they
Mhm,
are. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying?
I
They're there
think
and they are.
I think the literary term is different from when the slang term when using it, because I think that is a slight to women when some of the transgender women are referring to them as cis women. I don't think they're referring to them as the
Because
definition that's in the dictionary.
they're just claiming as their gender, right? Not woman or man.
Mm-hmm. They're basically telling them that just because you're claiming to be a woman, don't mean that you are, because you feel like you biologically have the right to that claim. But let's move on because I don't want to get off track. But that's interesting. Ladies, turn your mic on. Let's get you back into this discussion. This one should be interesting too. Uh, let's go to Kiana first. Duchess, you ready? Kiana? All right, let's go to Patsy first. Patsy, how do you feel about the term happy wife, happy life?
Oh,
I'm not depending on a man to make me happy, but if there's a situation where we, I think in full terms, it's like we gotta agree to disagree and to come to terms on how to handle different situations. So, it's a two-way street about making each other happy. But I think in layman's terms, it's like a lot of time guys actually um allow women to um kind of like get that situation more taken over, like if we're having an argument about something, or I want to go out for dinner. Okay, that's a situation. Happy wife, you know, happy life, happy wife. So yeah. Um.
yeah, what? I didn't even hear anything.
Say what?
I'm trying to say, what was your answer to that? I heard a lot, but I don't know what I just heard.
I just don't believe. I
You
guess
don't
like
believe it.
for the most part, it is. It can be true, but it depends on the situation with you and your other half.
All right, let's get Tanya's perspective. Tanya, how do you feel about the term happy wife, happy life?
How do I feel about that term?
Yes, yes.
I love that term, happy wife, happy life, because if I'm happy, that means that our communication is on key. We together spiritually, we together mentally, we together emotionally. You know, if I'm happy, he's happy, we happy. Happy life.
Everybody eating tonight, huh?
That's right.
You ain't happy and the motherfucker eating in this house. You better use that microwave.
All right. So we're gonna get the guy's perspective, and we're gonna come back to Kiana at the end of the guy's answers. All right, Bird, we're gonna go to you first. How you feel about that term, happy wife, happy life?
I believe I was a believer in that
Yeah,
until I
shit.
heard the phrase "a happy man is God's plan." Changed my perspective of the game. But I do agree, if you can keep her happy, the house is running great. She's in a good mood, things are going good. If she's in a bad mood, the whole house is in shambles. And like I said, I'm a true believer. The woman is truly in control of a relationship, a real woman. And a real man is led to believe that he is the one who he thinks is running things, but she's allowing him to feel like he run things. But in true reality, the woman is running shit, controlling shit. Because if he wants a dinner or he wants some sex or he wants, the woman is maybe taking care of the household situations, You put her in a situation and challenge her authority, you will find out the hard way that she is definitely running shit. So I am a believer. I was a believer, but now as a single man, I'm not a believer anymore. Because I can cook, I can clean, I can do a whole lot of the same things that a woman can do. I just don't want to sit in the house with that attitude when she ain't happy. So I did believe, and I no longer am a believer. But a
Okay.
happy man is God's plan. Write it down.
Timmy,
That's
same.
a t-shirt.
I know. Timmy, same question. How do you feel about the term happy wife, happy life?
I think that's just the same. It
Oh,
ain't
it's real.
it ain't really portrayed
It's real.
individual. I think it's just a saying,
Oh no,
because
it's real.
because because for me,
I
I
admit it.
feel like it's both ways. It ain't just the wife being happy; it's both the man too. So that term is just speaking about the woman, but it's both of their lives, not
Nope,
just hers. So I think that's just more of a saying. It ain't really what you should, quote saying, because it's just the saying. It's not. I don't think that's really true, because
that
to
is true.
to to have a happy home is it got to be both, not just the wife. It got to be both parties putting their effort into making this house a happy home, making this life a happy life. So I don't agree with it.
Okay. Gregory, same question. How do you feel about the term happy wife, happy life?
I'm gonna allude to what Bird said earlier. One mind, one body, one soul. So you got the back, which is the spine, connected to the head of the household, right? If we're a whole body, we're supposed to be working together, happy and sound. So everything's going good. So if it's a point where I feel like I'm not happy making my significant other happy, then maybe I picked the wrong person. And that was my fault. You get what I'm saying? So I believe in that term because you're a union.
Okay. Sean, same question.
Um, I've heard the term all my life. Um, I've never bought into it for the simple fact that I was raised in a home where I had both my mother and my father, and I've heard earlier someone say that the woman can move around and act like she acts like or she allows the man to believe that he's the head and this, that, and the other when she's the one that's actually running the show and this, that, and the other. And I get where that person was coming from with that statement, but I've been brought up to believe that the man sets the tone in the house. And whatever tone he sets is how the rest of the house responds. So as far as her uh, reacting in a way to where it makes it seem like she's running the show, I don't think that's the case. She's just responding and moving according to the tone that the man has set. And so if he sets a tone to where, not everybody is functioning properly and not happy, this, that, and the other, I like it. People have been using this terminology, real man, real woman. A real woman won't subvert his authority by trying to take over something. But what she will do is try to keep the peace and try to see if she can work with him on getting him back on track. So that whole happy wife, happy life, I understand the terminology, but the way that we're breaking it down, I don't agree with it. I believe the man sets the tone, and that's how the house is ran.
All right. Let's Duchess, you back with us? All right, let me give y'all a little fun fact. So they've updated that term. So it's now, it went from happy wife, happy life to happy spouse, happy house. But I'll say this, if you got an unhappy wife, it's going to affect your life and you're going to be a divorced spouse and they're going to kick you out your house. Now, that being said,
Take your house,
yeah, take your house, that too.
take your car, take your bank, take half of everything you got, and bring it on to the next motherfucker.
Look at Kanye West.
Mhm. Hi, Robert. The term, do you agree with it? Happy wife, happy life.
That's nice. Um, it works at the beginning, and then after they got used to you for a while, don't matter how happy, you keep some of these miserable souls, those leeches. No, some of them, you just can't keep them happy forever. They're happy that you had them on that level, just became dull to them. They need something more exciting, something more. So I'm gonna say this: it works both ways. Empty sack, extra snacks.
Oh. All right.
No,
So,
You
Duchess,
got
are
a
you back
tasty
with us?
treat.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to pick up the pace now. We're gonna go to question five. Question five, Bird, we're gonna start with you. Um, according to women, there should be zero contact with the ex-mate once the new relationship has been established. What's your perspective?
I agree. If there ain't no kids involved, absolutely not.
Okay, that was simple. Robert, same question.
Repeat it, please. I just don't want to agree with Bird said, and.
According to research, women believe that there should be zero contact with the ex-mate once the new relationship has been established.
I agree exactly with Bird said. If there ain't no children involved, there is no need for you to keep trying to be involved because that only leads to someone wanting something and something going wrong.
You're damn right.
All right, Gregory, same question.
I agree with the last two panelists.
Okay. Bert, excuse me. Sean, same question.
I mean, and vice
Yeah.
versa, though. Can't just go one way on it.
Sean?
Um, I'll agree with the panel on, and I'll throw in, more than just the kids. If there's no business or anything of substance that is still binding you two together, then it shouldn't be any communication.
Timmy? According to research, women believe that there should be zero contact with the ex-mate once the new relationship has been established. What do you say?
Uh, it depends. Like like Sean said. Now you could break up and still because y'all was friends and you got that friendship. Some women don't like other men having female friends because they might be threatened, especially if it was an ex. But I just say this: if it all depends on what type of relationship y'all had. If y'all still friends, y'all was friends before things happened, and y'all friends after the breakup. There's nothing wrong with it. If a female have a friend and he was her ex, they still friends after that. It's cool. Ain't nothing. It shouldn't be no problem unless they cross the boundaries.
All right, Patsy. Question number 5. According to research, women believe that there should be zero contact with the ex once the new relationship has been established.
Well, like Timmy just said, it depends on your situation. It's like if y'all are friends beforehand and y'all just got ended up taking it up a notch and then realizing, oh, this shit ain't work. This is not working for us. And why don't we just revert back to being plain friends? And it's a good situation. But sometimes they friendship to dating and you can't revert back to that friendship because there's too much negative vibes after being in that intimacy, so yeah, it just depends on how wrong the relationship when once you started dating, you know. Yeah.
Tanya, same question.
I'm here. What was the question?
According to women, there should be zero contact with the ex once the new relationship has been established.
I'm gonna agree with some of what the panel has said. If there's no kids involved, there shouldn't be any contact. But if you were friends before the relationship or the friendship, relationship, whatever, when you broke up and you went your separate ways, doesn't mean that if you come across that person or you're in the same let's say outing or event that you don't speak. You're not going to be calling that person on the phone, chit chatting with them on the phone, none of that. But if you're in the same vicinity, you're at the same gathering, you can speak and conversate. I'm strong enough to know that and have faith enough to know that what type of woman I am and what type of business I stand on, that I'm not threatened.
All right, guys, we are at the halfway point. We're gonna have to pick up the pace. We're gonna have to get the mini skirt version of these answers. We're gonna go to question number 6. I'm gonna try to get through all of these questions. Gentlemen, pay attention. Ladies, this question should be interesting. Tanya, we're gonna start with you. Question number 6. According to research, most women believe that they should never have to teach a man how to satisfy them in any way. They should be pre-equipped with the knowledge, experience, and means to do so. What do you say?
I say that is a bunch of bullshit. That's what I say. You have to, the man ain't gonna know how to make you happy or have the knowledge unless you give it to him. If you don't give, somebody said something earlier about, was that you, Bird? That said something about if you're not feeding me the knowledge,
Yeah.
how can we grow?
Amen.
So you have to let them know how to treat you, how to make you happy, how to vibe, spiritually, what's important to you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, how to handle you physically. I mean, you gotta let the man know. That's how you build a relationship. That's how you become intimate. That's how you become one. That's how you get to that marriage stage.
Patsy, same question.
Yeah, you have to tell them your likes, your dislikes, and really let them know, like, this is what what I like in this perception, and and the same thing with the men. It's like they got to tell us what type of intimacy that they enjoy, and be on the same page so we're both being happy and satisfied.
Day.
Yes.
Can I just add one thing?
Yes.
You know how you buy a plant, right? And it comes with the instructions on how to care for it, how to give it sunlight, when to water it, to help it grow. That's a question.
Yeah.
Same thing. That's the same mindset. I'm a flower. I'm a plant. I have to give you the instructions on how to care for me to grow, for me to be the flower that I'm intended to be, that God intended me to be. I have to give you those instructions to grow and be beautiful.
Like it. All right.
Yeah, I heard that from Billy. Billy D taught me that.
All right. Did all the ladies get a chance to answer that question?
I'm back.
All right, Duchess. The question is, according to research, most women believe that they should never have to teach a man how to satisfy them in any way. He should be pre-equipped with the knowledge, experience, and means to do so.
I feel like that's an immature attitude. Like what he's doing with some other woman may be something you can't stand. So why would that bring you pleasure? So no. Like again, he could be a soup slurper, and you're like, nah, that's unattractive. That don't even make me like that. Make me hate you. So could you please not? So no,
Excuse me, Lizzie.
you can't. That cannot work for everybody. No, we're not. We're not the same. What someone else will tolerate is something that I wouldn't tolerate. So I think that's an immature way of thinking.
Same question. Most women believe that they should never have to teach a man how to satisfy them in any way. The man should be pre-equipped with the knowledge, experience, and means to do so. What do you say?
I'm going to stand on what I said before. I mean, you might be going on your own experience to please someone or do something for someone, and it's not what they are into, just like Kiana said. So you either try to learn your person's love language or pay attention to your person's movement and try to figure out what they like, how they like it. Or again, without communication, it just won't work. So yeah, they do got to help you get there. Some women needed a different way. You might have gave it to this person this way, or you behaved this way, and some people need it different. So I would say either communicate or pay attention.
Robert, same
Oh, I
question.
was waiting to attack it. I got the answer that I want to deliver. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to toot no horns and I'm not going to disrespect the women. Their belief is their belief. But I am going to use what Tanya said with the plants. All type of plants come with directions or instructions, like she said. How to water them, should it be in the shade, should it be in the sun, how much water, when maybe want to repot when it gets a little bit, whatever it is. But like a plant, what happens when a human is exactly like the plant? The human can't talk, can't hear, And like most of the time I get a plant in my home, I don't read the directions or instructions. I water it, I put it in the sun, I put it in the shade, I rub the vines, I talk to the leaves and rub those, dust it off, sing to it, dance in front of it. I get to know
But
what the
that's still
plant
your plant.
likes and dislikes. I didn't need the plant to talk to me or hear me ask, does that feel good? Do you
You're
like hearing
sexually
that?
harassing your
You
plant.
know, so as a woman, all you as trying to please a woman right from the rip without her speaking, just come in, play close attention to her movements while you're making love to her, having sex, whatever. How you talk to her, you got to really steady her like she's trying to steady you.
Okay. So Gregory, I'm gonna give you the question.
Well, hold on, I got you. I agree with the panel. Everything's a learning process, and you gotta learn a person. I wouldn't be able to know to put my foot on your neck if you don't tell me.
Well, how
Okay.
I'm gonna know you don't like to get choked if I don't choke your ass?
Oh,
It's and Uncle Rob was right. You should come equipped with some tools and a kit too, because you should know what you're doing at this age, right?
Sean. The
Hmm.
question is, according to research, most women believe they should never have to teach a man how to satisfy them in any way. He should be pre-equipped with the knowledge, experience, and means to do so. What do you say?
I say Sister Kiana, she was nice with her words when she used immature. I say that is foolishness. Um, how how do like a man's gonna know how he may want to treat an individual, but like some of the panel members said, some of the things that I come equipped with may not be suitable for you, may not be something that you like. So how is that your thought process?
I
Do I
agree
need to go
with both
further?
Sean and Kiana. Go ahead, Sean.
I was wondering, did I need to go any further? I figured,
Do you feel the need to?
no, no, I don't think so.
All right.
All
Timmy,
right.
miniskirt version. Most women believe that they should never have to teach a man how to satisfy them in any way. They should come pre-equipped with the knowledge, experience, and means to do so. What do you say?
Billy D. Williams and the emotion.
All right. Um, question 7, ladies. According to research, women believe that the men in their life should know how they feel without any prompting. Kiana, what do you say?
How I wish that was true, but I know it's not. What do you want to call it? Women are on Wi-Fi and men are on analog, so they need to be told damn near everything. So if you think a man is gonna read your mind, even your attitude, you're living in a fantasy world. So they can believe it, but it's not true.
Patsy, same
Not at
question.
all.
Yeah, I agree with Kiana said. Like we're Wi-Fi and they're analog, so for the most part, you need to tell men like how you're feeling. Like sometimes you could, as a man, you could read our body language, but sometimes if you're not picking, you're not men don't always pick up our body language and our cues, so we have to actually speak what we're thinking and feeling, and to make sure that it's a clear picture to the significant other in our lives.
Tanya, same question.
I'm gonna say that I agree with the ladies. Even after 30 years of being together, I still and there are instances where they can read my body language, my facial expression, and take the cues, but then there are times that it just goes over their head and I have to speak up. So yeah, I have to agree with the ladies. Wi-Fi analog.
Timmy, same question. According to research, women expect men to know how they are feeling without any prompting.
I'd like to know who the hell is doing the goddamn surveys, because they're not doing surveys of you know, they must be in the goddamn suburb doing surveys or something. I don't, whoever that is that's that doing the questionnaire, they're trying to make a name for themselves by coming up with their own. It's just like they with the Bible of the different authors of the damn Bible. How so? I feel like this was one of these questions that one of them damn persons that wrote to
Okay.
game.
Um, we are going to go to Robert next. Robert, according to research, women expect the men in their life to know what they are thinking without any prompting.
Yeah, that's a hard one. The only way that's gonna happen if you was truly a mind reader, because a woman
So what?
is changing her mind rapidly. And we could probably be talking in seconds. I was gonna give them minutes or something. They can be on one thing and switch to the next, and you thinking you're right there with them. They done moved on. You have to really pay attention. You have to study them, and you're not always gonna guess it right. You're not perfect.
Okay. Gregory, same question. Women expect men to know what they're feeling without any prompting. What do you say?
If that was possible, once again, you guys should be happy. You don't live in the times where Kathy goes and tells somebody after you tell him, yeah, he knows all my thoughts and it's like he can read my mind. And then they come and say, I heard you can read her thoughts. Burn him, he's a witch. Now you gotta die. It's crazy.
Bird, you still with us?
Yeah.
Same question. According to research, women expect men to know how they're feeling without any prompting.
I believe that's half of those people that believe that are single.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to be able to know. I mean, again, you go on your own life experience, but that's not always enough. So you're in a fantasy island. Better look for tattoo or something if you're
That's
expecting
the
some
law.
go on and know what, no. Good luck.
Sean, same question.
Yeah, once again, um, looking for somebody to make you complete. Um, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me that there are people out there that really think like that. I like what Kiana said earlier about the Wi-Fi and analog, and I can agree with that. But in some instances, for us men, sometimes it's not that we need you to tell us what to do or what you want, this and the other. Sometimes we just want you to do that so that we don't have to put the effort in trying to figure stuff out.
Reassurance. Reassurance.
Okay. Sean, I'm gonna stay with you, ladies. Y'all gonna like this question. Uh, question 8. We're gonna go to the guys first. Sean, question 8.
Yes. Mhm.
According to research, women have preconditioned biases about the men in their life. They compare them to the mates of their peers. What do you say?
I can agree with that in some cases, because they've heard stories or witnessed certain things, and so therefore they may look for those same attributes or traits in the person that they're either with or that they're looking for. I mean, I think that's just in most cases just human nature.
Good, it's good. Gregory, same question.
Yeah, I believe it's always been like that. Even in tribal days and stuff, they're looking for attributes in people that they know. It's just a way of human beings.
Okay. Timmy, same question. According to
Yeah.
research, women have preconditioned biases regarding the men in their life. They compare them to the mates of their peers.
Yep. It's just like Belly sending buns when Keisha was talking to T about buns, and she told her, "Look, Keisha, you got to do what's right for you. What I'm doing what's right for me and sin, but you got to find the good in buns to bring that out of him." And then she told her, "Buns ain't never gonna be shit." So I refer to that.
Okay. Bird, did I give you a chance to answer that one?
I think so. What was it?
Uh, Women have preconditioned biases regarding the
Oh,
men in their life. They compared them to their peers mates.
I didn't answer that one, but I think some level, yes, that happens, and also they compare to their own ex-mate.
Ooh.
The comparison, men and women, I think we both try to look for something that we had, and we just ain't finding.
Mm.
You're waiting on your peers situation, and good luck trying to figure your own out because all people are different, and your friends are
Hmm.
gonna be the ones to get you in trouble because they lying.
Key, same question.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question is, according to research, women have preconditioned biases regarding the men in their life. They often compare them to their peers mates.
Again, I don't see how this is a question. This is a statement. So do we compare our the men in our lives with our peers, mates?
That's what research is saying.
I mean, more like I'm glad my man's not like that, or my man's not like hers, or I mean, I guess, but we're preconditioned or we don't even know that we do it. I don't believe that that's true.
Okay.
I mean, yes, you could be maybe see what they do and be envious, but again, you never know what's on what shit is underneath that green grass.
Patsy, same question.
Um, I really can't compare to my friends. Not that I have a whole lot of friends that I compare their man to my relationships. Like I could compare what I might have now to an ex and be like, I don't want the person I'm dating to be doing stuff that any of my exes did, because it wasn't quite kosher, and it didn't really work out because it was just like a bad deal. Like, it's like you gotta find those deal breakers for your own self and not compare the person you are interested in dating as opposed to a friend or family member's mates, because you don't know all of what goes on behind closed door, you know? So yeah, that's a no-go right there.
All right. Excuse me, Tanya. Same question.
I think that we could have preconceived biases, period, when it comes to our mate from our past experiences, good or bad. We don't want to find someone that's negatively reflected in people that we dated in the past. We want some good qualities that people that we dated in the past, as well as our peers, as same as what any other male figure that we've seen our mothers, aunts, you know, grandmothers type of men that they dealt with. So you can have preconceived biases going in, good and bad.
Hold on, just a
Okay.
second.
I'm gonna stay with you, Tanya. We have already reached the 9 o'clock hour, so I'm gonna try to get a few more in here. I think this is an interesting one. Tanya, according to research, women do not respect their mate if they earn less than them. What do you say?
I say that that's not true. That's what I say. That's not true.
Okay. Patsy? I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're a team. So what he lacks, I pick up.
Oh shit. Patsy?
No, I wouldn't find that to be true, because if you're truly a match for each other, the finances shouldn't be a problem. You know, I shouldn't be insecure in him because he makes less money than I do. And on the flip side, he shouldn't be insecure about himself because I make more than him. So it's a two-way street on that situation, you know? So yeah.
Duchess, you still with us?
Yes.
According to research, most women do not respect their mate if they earn less than them.
I don't think that that's true. It depends on the dynamics of their relationship. I think it'll take more than your earnings to make somebody not respect you. If you don't respect me, why should I respect you? If you talk to me crazy, that has nothing to do with money. Like, I won't respect you. If you treat my family like trash, why would I respect you? If you treat my kid, if we don't have kids together, like trash, why would I respect you? Why would I be with you? But that's not neither here nor there. I think it takes a lot more than just money, and it depends on somebody's mentality. If all you think about is money, then I guess that the almighty dollar makes you respect people who would treat you like trash. But I mean, again, I think it's more than just money that makes somebody respect you or disrespect you.
Timmy, same question. According to research, women do not respect men that earn less than them.
I don't believe that. I agree along with Kiana said. Your money don't determine what what a person's feelings should be. If it's true love, then money don't have nothing to do with it.
Bullshit.
Bert, it's on you.
I think it's bullshit. Mainly black women. You ain't the man in your house if you ain't bringing home the bread in your house. Sorry.
Could you ask me that question, please, so I can see if I
Mm-hmm.
can tackle it?
Okay. According to research, women do not respect their mate if they earn less than them.
Mm, wow. You're not you're not worth anything to them. If that's the way, if that's the stats or just a goddamn survey, shit, what is he worth? Um, there's no love, there's nothing, no respect, there's nothing, it's just the money, that's all they're looking at. Hey, I'm confused. I'm lost right there. I can easily agree with Timmy, then I can agree with Bird said, but I mean, isn't a relationship based on more than just that dollar sign?
Better wake up. It's a funky world we live in. Okay. If you say it ain't, then you ain't living in the real
No, that's
world.
why I say, isn't it based on more than just? You can't make your relationship all out to you're gonna have some respect for this man now because he make more than you, or he's feeling threatened by you because you make more than him.
Gregory, same question. According to research, women do not respect men that earn less than them.
It depends on the class of woman that you're looking for, because it's a new thing, a new ageism, where you got them listening to Sexy Red and goddamn Sweetie and Suki Hana, and they want a 6-figure nigga and they eating them niggas' asses. So you got stuff like that going. And before, you had a Beyonce tell you,
You want
"Can you
some
pay my
fruit?
bills?" I don't think you do. You and me are through. So we can't sit here and act like this isn't a scary turn that the world has took.
Sean, same question.
Booty ate.
Uh, Gregory, well, all right, I'm here. Um, excuse me.
You like this
I'm
booty
a,
ate.
I'm a, with all these surveys, and because they're based on the topic that they're based on, I'm confused that that this question is, some women feel like men are. I'm sorry, what the question was again? I
According
don't
to
want to make sure I
women,
finish.
they do not respect, most women do not respect, excuse me, according to research, most
Research.
women do not respect the man if he earns less than them.
Right. And so you have that portion of women. So this is where I guess us men will get confused, because you have that portion of women who think like that. And then I just recently heard a survey of women saying that it's hard for them to find a man because we're intimidated at the fact that they make more than we do. So with that being said, if you how do you if you're making more than a man and you can't respect that man, like why is he even in your equation?
All right, Sean, we're gonna stay with you. Seems that we got time for one more question. All right, everybody turn your mics on, and this is going to be the final question, but I'm going to ask you, once you give your answer, please turn your mic off and do not respond to anyone's answer. So this is going to be your final say. Okay, here we go. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. All right, Sean. Last question of the night. how do you feel about the term a woman should be seen and not heard?
And another foolish statement that comes back from our old days. Um, yeah, no, I don't believe in that. Um, that I can honestly say that I'm comfortable in my own skin to where sometimes I don't even have a problem with the woman taking the lead on some things.
Like that. Timmy, how do you feel about the term a woman should be seen and not heard?
I I think that's just the same like Sean said from back in the days. And but at the same token, that saying also empowering the women to be heard.
Robert, how do you feel about the term a woman should be seen and not heard?
Yeah, no pun intended. They said, hear me roar. Adopt a Paris Ladies first, employmentplus.org. But I will tell you this. How do men that sound like pigs feel about this term? Slap the shit out you. Because it's a form of disrespect. You want her to daggone talk to you when you need to answer a yes question, or you're asking her for some of her, her special goodies. And you want to hear her respond. So she should not be heard. Or what did you say? She should not be seen or heard. That's this disrespect.
You should be seen and not heard.
Yeah, and you need her to talk to you sometime to answer some type of questions. It's only okay for her to say yes and I will.
Gregory, how do you feel about the term a woman should be seen and not heard?
Yeah, I don't agree with that term, but the only way that works is if that woman wants to be seen and not heard. Because real killers move in silence, and she just plays the background. So I understand in that aspect, but you can't be going around telling a woman that she can't be seen and not heard. But if she wants to be shy and in the background and be eye candy, she can do that all day. I like that too.
All right, how do you feel about that term a woman should be seen and not heard?
Well, I think some circumstances may warrant that. I could be talking some kind of business deal or something like that, and your input's not needed. But I think it could be circumstantial. Would deem my answer to that.
Good answer, good answer. Patsy, how do you feel about the term a woman should be seen and not heard?
Um, I don't believe in a thing like that. Like back in the day, that was a thing like for children. Children to be seen and not heard. So I ain't never heard that referred to no grown person, especially women. Man, if I get too quiet, when
You
you
get
know like I'm a talker,
you
and then
get
all of a
isolated
sudden
back in the day.
situation, it's like, you better be careful with telling me that I need to be quiet, baby. That's a
You
dangerous.
Might shoot him in the foot. Tell him, Pat.
Yeah,
you would have gotten nut bush.
Okay, Tanya,
might be more than that.
Tanya, let's get your views. How do you feel about that term a woman should be seen and not heard?
I'm going to say that in some circumstances, like somebody made a comment about in business aspect, and you in a meeting, you could be seen but not heard. But a lot of times, you don't want the woman to be heard when she got some insight that can help you,
Mm-hmm.
help you keep you from making a mistake. And then there are some women that are in situations where the man want her to be seen and not heard, and you find yourself lying in the bed and burning.
It's a form of isolation.
All right, Duchess, let's get your views. How do you feel about this term, a woman should be seen and not heard?
I think it's disrespectful. I think it's definitely rooted in patriarchy and misogyny. Like, why would you want to be with somebody who you don't want to hear their opinion, or you don't want to converse with them? Like, get a blow up doll, get a picture, get a dog. You don't need a woman. You don't deserve a woman.
Let me just add that the woman was created to be a helpmeet. So if you resorting her to be seen and not heard, you silencing your helpmeet.
All right, I'm just going to add this in closing. Okay, so gentlemen everywhere, heed my words. It is truly absurd to believe that a woman should be seen and not heard. These are the egotistical insecurities of a misogynistic boy. And women, do not play coy, because this person's only mission in life is to destroy, take away your joy. This has been a Still a Man show. Thank you guys. See you next week. God bless you.